I have a whole bunch of fun stuff to show you today. The card is quick, so I can fit in some other samples to show you. It's gonna be a lot of different things. One of the things, I have several samples to show you with the gingham paper. It's super springy, and also I am going to use the Gingham Gala adhesive back sequins, which if you saw my video that posted yesterday, I was a little unsure where I got those sequins from. They are from this. I did realize later. That's what happens when you do your cards before a holiday and then take like 3 weeks off and then come back to cards that you've already done, and this stuff's already laying there. I'm like, not sure where I got these from, but that is where they came from, and the colors of the sequins match the colors of the paper. So it's part of this butterfly, the Gingham Gala suite, but I'm not going to use it with that stuff today. But let me show you some cards that I've gotten from some of my other very talented friends. This one I did show you yesterday, and it also uses the ribbon, which is part of the celebration, and this lasts until the end of March. So if you get the paper, you will want to get the ribbon because after March it will be gone, and you get it free with a $50 purchase, and it matches the color of the paper. So here, let me pull this back over here again. You can see the ribbons then go with the paper. So it's perfect, and the ribbon's free. So you just spend $50 and you can get that ribbon free. The paper is a 6x6 pack, and it's $11. So this card I did show you yesterday. I have some new ones. This one is adorable. How cute is that little little bunny? He's just sweet as can be. This was a card that we did. It was designed by one of the girls in my group named Heather. And we made this at the shoebox swap the other night. So her bunny was painted a little bit nicer than mine. You know, sometimes when you paint at or stamp at these group events, you're like, yeah, I do know how to stamp. But he is, that little bunny is as sweet as can be. And this stamp is in the Occasions catalog. This is, again, with just a little bit of the gingham and a few of the sequins. This was done by my friend Jody. Super simple, super easy, some simple stamping, and just one of the little candles from the Occasions. I mean, no, from the annual catalog. I do know where that comes from. This is another one that Jody did. Same color paper, super easy. I do have a video coming up that showcases this. I don't think I've posted one yet. I know I have some other butterfly stuff, but I haven't used the big stamps out of it. And then how cute is this? If you were a dog fan, of course, you're going to want that dog punch and the dog stamp set. This is done by my friend Teresa Greenberry. There's 2 Teresas in our group. There's 2 Heathers and 2 Teresas. I don't have a ginormous group, but we're limited on the names of the girls in our group. We like to do repeats. So that is Teresa's, sweet as can be. And then this was done by my daughter, Carissa. It's a little bit more coloring than some of the other ones, but it's super fun to color. That this Noah's Ark is also in the Occasions catalog. And on this gingham, it makes a perfect little baby card. I would show you the inside. It was at the shoebox shop. Well, I'll show you the inside. It's the one I made based off of her sample. But, of course, she stamped hers on the right side. You know, sometimes the greeting, I need to take it off and remount it. So my greeting's on the right side. And then this one I have shown you before. It does not have the gingham paper, but it uses the stamp set that I'm going to use today with the gingham, and it's the Well Said bundle. This bundle is fabulous. Has so many pieces. And this card, and this is, I have a tutorial already up on my channel with this card. So if you like that card, you can go over and see it. So this bundle is called Well Said. There are so many pieces to it that a couple of times now I have taken them just to make sure I still have them all, because I haven't put them up on my board yet. There are, in the dies, 24 dies, and there's 51 stamps. So here's the stamps. You get 2 of them, and they are the New Cling stamps. I've only put together the ones that I've used. And then here are the dies, less the ones that I'm using today. So I'm just going to show you real quick as I move them over to my, I have magnet boards, if you've seen the video of my office. I have big magnet boards they stick on. While I work with them, they sit at my desk. Here's one that says baby. Here's one that says bride. Let's see if I can do this backwards and upside down. Sympathy. Happy. Groom goes with the bride. Then there's some flowers. Butterfly and a heart. And there's 3 flowers. And wish. Oh no, this is miss. Friend. This is my favorite part, I think, of it, the exclamation point. Welcome. You. An ampersand. Thanks. Hooray. And love. And then with the pieces that I'm going to use today on the card, there's a flower, a bird, birthday, and wishes. I knew wishes was in there. So those are the ones that I'm going to use today on the card. So that's how many dies you get. And then they, of course, mix and match with the words. So in this one, there are a lot of the larger sized words. And then this coordinates with the ones that you can put on the inside, or you can kind of mix and match. On the card that I did here, I used some of the smaller words, and then I took out the U and replaced it with the U that was the die cut. So let me show you the card that I have today. If you come to my camps, this will be a camp card because I've already cut the paper, but we're not going to do it in January just because the colors are a little bit more spring-like. So we'll probably save it for March. It may make an appearance in February, but I'm thinking March. So this is a just Whisper White background. Unless the ribbon starts to run low. If the ribbon starts to run low, then I may switch it up. So then I've cut, because it's a 6x6 paper pack, this is 2 inches, just so I could get the most use out of it. So it's a 2x6. And one side of all of the paper is a larger check, and the back is a smaller check. So I'm going to use the larger check for this card. Just put it over here. And then when I do these, I always just do the measurement by 6, and then I just use my paper snips to trim this. Because, you know, sometimes when we're cutting our cardstock 5.5, it's not just quite 5.5. So this way it just matches. That way if it was a 5.5 and a smudge, or not quite 5.5, then your paper here is exactly. So then we just have some Granny Apple Green and some more of the grapefruit, which is the color of this. Let me pull my Big Shot up here. I'm going to show you a paper saving technique that I have for this card. I'm going to also use the new rectangles. The stitched rectangles are in the Occasions catalog. So I've got 2 because I'm going to make a border frame. So on the first one, I'm going to use my Granny Apple Green. And you know, sometimes when you're making a rectangle like this or any big piece, then all of this just gets covered up. So I'm going to take this, comes out of the Well Said bundle. Helps if you put it the right side down so it cuts. I'm going to put that down, and then I'm just going to lay this on the inside because I might as well make use of all that paper that's in there, right? Because it's just going to get covered up. So that way I'm not wasting paper and using another piece of Granny Apple Green. And roll this through. I will tell you that if you roll your stitched rectangles through too many times, they get embedded in there. And they are super hard to pull out. So this is enough to cut those out. But I do want to make sure that it was enough to cut these out. And it does look like it was enough. So see here, this is just going to cover that up with my next piece. And I've saved having to use a whole piece of this. Yeah, it looks like those are good. But because this is smushed in there well enough, had it not cut, I'm just going to leave that until I get the next one. So now I'm going to pull this through. I need my smaller. And for the most part, the rectangles I found work better if you roll them through at a little bit of a diagonal. And then I have a piece of grapefruit. So move that up here. Let me get my grapefruit. I have birthday, wishes, and my little bird. So this one I'm going to roll through once. I'm going to take my pick tool and just kind of pull this one out because I don't want to roll that through again because like I said, if you roll those rectangles, the stitched things through twice, it just embeds down in the stitching and it makes them really hard to get out. But that allowed me to roll these through another time, which twice was all you need for those. See, my bird's already out. Pop that out of the way. See, it's already they're already kind of stuck in there, and push them out. And if they're in there too much, then it rips your paper when you pull those out. So just one roll through is plenty on those. Done with my bird, done with my big one. Here's my little bird. Here's my wishes. Normally you would want to keep your dots, but I'm going to use the sequins for my dots on the tops of my eyes. Like that, just poke these out. My hands are freezing. It's nice and sunny out. I would like to go back out and hop in the pool, but I spent a little bit of time. I don't know if at your house sometimes, you know, over the Christmas holidays, if you have rooms that get used for dual purposes. So, you know, over from Thanksgiving when we had a giant Christmas market and I pulled out a lot of my retired stuff and was making up Christmas things. And then, you know, it becomes wrapping station central in my office. So I've been kind of doing the workaround. You know how you do the workaround and you just pretend the mess isn't there? But this morning I was like, I can't take this anymore. So I really wanted to go hop in the pool because it's another beautiful sunny day in Indiana. And I think winter is coming back. It's still winter. If you're in Australia like in Melbourne, this is a Melbourne winter that we're having in Indiana, but Indiana winter is coming. You know, when it's so cold that your eyeballs freeze when you walk outside. Some of that may be on its way, which we can swim in that because our pool's heated. But going out to get in the pool when it's like that is not fun. Okay, so now I just have to mount all this together and we're done. I told you it was a super simple card. So I'm going to take my frame first. And you just, when you've used the back like this, just make sure you put your adhesive on this piece. And then you can just cover this up. And see, you'll never even know that that was back there. And otherwise it would have just been a wasted piece and you would have needed a whole other piece to do that. So then I have two ribbons. This one is in the Occasions catalog and it is called Flax Ribbon and it is Whisper White. Yeah, Whisper White. So I'm just going to take a little bit of it. This is, you know, my, ever since I went to On Stage and I did this knot a zillion times, it's become my knot of choice. So just tie one little knot here. And then trim that off. And then I'm going to take the Grapefruit Grove ribbon that's in the Celebration catalog. So this is free. Just cut that off. And then I'm just going to tie another knot around where my knot is. This just makes another flat little bow. The Celebration ribbon is a tulle kind of ribbon, so it's nice and flat. And it lays flat when you tie the bows. I'm going to try to get that knot so it lays in the back of this. And then I'm going to add some adhesive here down towards the bottom. Maybe. Move all my stuff out of the way. And then I'm going to add some adhesive here. So I'm going to take these, and I want them to kind of hang off the edge of the card. And I'll stick a little bit more adhesive there in a second, but this way I can get moved this over a tiny bit. I want it to be more in the center. If I can't get it there, I can live with it. But you know, the take your pick tool is nice for other things other than picking things up and popping things out. So squish that back over there. Okay. Now it's more in the center. Lay that on there. Flip this around. This is one of those cards where on the back, not quite so pretty, but nobody will ever see this back here. And flip this around. Make sure I don't want to pull my little leaves from the front. So just make sure those stand on their own. Okay, then I'm going to lay these on here just for a second. Grab my stamp pad. This is Granny Apple Green. I have the stamp that says Heartfelt. This is out of the stamp set that goes with this. There we go. I have a saying for the inside as well, but let me go ahead and move all this out of the way before I stamp the inside. So it's going to say Heartfelt Birthday Wishes on the outside, and then this says Celebrating Another Year of Happiness. Put that on the inside. So that's it for the stamping. I love the way that all of the little words coordinate. On here. When you were doing these, running these through the Big Shot, you can, if you would like, use the Big Shot adhesive, which I did do on the other video if you watched that. So now I just need to get all these so they're on there. Usually, here we go. I was going to say, usually I wondered why these were in the box. I looked at the bucket because I have these from when I did my stamp event with my downline. This is one of the cards they did. And I thought, why do I have pop dots in here? Because there's nothing popped up. But it's because this does not stick to this. And it gives just enough adhesive on the letters to hold them down. But I moved them out of the thing because I thought, well, we didn't even use these. So put that on there. Get my wishes. And you can see maybe that when you roll on this, the adhesive resists that, so it just clings just to your cardstock. This one I've done a little bit higher up than my other sample, so I'll show you both of them when I'm done, because my bird on the other one is underneath. This one's going to be right here. So wherever they fall is good. Trim a little bit of this off, because I was a little bit too much with my ribbon. And flip this over to my spatula side. See, if I had done this card first, I would have known where the sequins came from, because these I hadn't taken out of the packaging. On my other card yesterday, I only had the sequins left. So these also come in the same colors as the ribbon and the paper. So I need one for above this eye, and then one for above this eye. And there you go. A super simple little card, nice and springy looking. You could add a little flower in here too if you wanted with one of the sequins. The sequins come in half flowers shaped, half regular sequin shapes, and they are adhesive back, so you just slide them up with your Take Your Pick tool or the end of your snips. Here's the one I did before. See, that ended up being down there. But wherever you stick your bird, he's happy to be there. So there you go. I hope you enjoy those samples. Don't miss the ribbon if you love the paper, because you will want the ribbon to match all of your papers and to match your sequins. So there you go. Don't forget that I have a special right now that if you order $100 on my website this month and you use my host code, that you get a Take Your Pick tool for free. Plus you would get 2 celebration selections. And I also have the ongoing sign-ups for my free online class. So have a great day. Bye.